So anyway, here we all are, and I'd love to start with the first question, since we're talking about ePatient leadership. Here's the first one. When did you first self-identify as an ePatient?
I think that there's a pretty clear delineation at the point when I was living more privately as a patient, and then decided to go more public, and very public, I guess, very abruptly. And I was living with chronic fatigue syndrome, and having a hard time holding my head above water some of the time. And I was a writer for USA Today College, and I was in college at the time. And so I wrote an op-ed discussing my experience with chronic fatigue syndrome, and realized that this was a very underrepresented topic, not covered well in mainstream media. And the result, I guess coming from USA Today, it was really quite explosive what happened on social media to me, and that initiating experience of interacting with patients who were so moved by the fact that simply someone was actually talking about it in the media and someone cared. And from then on, I became much more involved with the patient community. I had only known, probably a handful of patients up to that point, but then gradually began getting to know, scores or even hundreds, and realizing that as a journalist, that I think that I had a responsibility and probably a moral duty to follow this lead wherever it was going to go, and that there were so few journalists talking about it that although I did have a desire to remain as an unbiased or objective journalist, and I could still do that, but I really wanted to explore this topic because journalistically there was a lot of room to help advance my career, and there wasn't a lot of competition, so that was actually really good, and I was getting a lot of response from all around the world, and I probably wouldn't have gotten that had I been writing about other topics that were very well covered. So I was able to differentiate myself as a journalist, I think.